Next is the Allstate Sugar Bowl, number 5 Alabama at 10-2 versus number 9 Kansas State 10-3 from Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. No, Orleans,
like that.
Louisiana.
There's so much bad voodoo around this game for
Don't
Bama.
like that.
I love it so much.
That is Saturday, December the 31st at noon on ESPN. By the way, obviously Sunday being the first, it's kind of weird to not have college football on New Year's Day, but I get it when we don't want to compete with the NFL, all that stuff. Anyway, that's just a sidebar. Anyway, so a few things to talk about here. Receivers JoJo Earl, Aaron Anderson, and Trayshawn Holden, and guard Javion Cohen entered the transfer portal for Bama. However, Bryce Young and Will Anderson Jr. will play, and from what I'm seeing, it seems like Jahmyr Gibbs will play as well. Kansas State looks like they will also be mostly intact when it comes to their starters, from what I've read and seen. The real challenge is going to be, can Nick Saban get his team energized and ready to play after disappointment of not making the playoffs? And we've seen it time and time again with teams that are right there at the edge, and then they don't get in the playoff. Okay, what do you do in the bowl game now? So interested to see how that goes. This will be the first meeting between these two teams, so that's kind of cool. So, Jesse, what is your prediction for your Crimson Tide?
Yeah, I mean, Bryce Young is playing.
That's it. That's all you got.
I mean, that's all you really got to say.
That's all you have to say. Bryce Young is playing.
I do need a score from you, though.
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. I still don't like the juju, and we'll be saging the house prior to this game. And if someone doesn't mind saging all of New Orleans, that would be really helpful. You might want to get down there now, though. Yeah, I think it would have been a very different game had Bryce not played, because yes, we do have all of those gentlemen in the transfer portal. However, again, I'm not worried. They weren't doing that much anyways. So I'm going to pick the Tide 31-23.
All right, Matt, what do you got?
Listen, this game has never been good to Bama. I seem to remember a couple other stops that Bama's had in New Orleans, and things have not gone well for them. A lot of Big 12 SEC matchups in the postseason this year, too. I'm kind of finding that interesting. And both of these teams have a team in common that they played. Bama played Texas. Kansas State obviously played Texas as well. We all saw how the Bama-Texas game went. We all saw how Kansas State lost to Texas by a touchdown. So kind of going off of the concept that, well, if Kansas State lost to Texas and Bama beat Texas, surely Bama should beat Kansas State.
Transitive property of football.
And usually that's not going to work, but I think it will in this particular case. Let's also remember that, Bryce is a ridiculous playmaker, one of the most talented people to ever play this game, let alone be on the field for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Bama. I don't think it's going to be as close as some people are going to make it out to be. I don't think Kansas State is going to be able to pull this off. So I'm going to say 45-28 Bama.
All right. Yeah, I think
better, but I'm too traumatized.
I don't blame you.
Understandable. Yeah.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, I think a lot of the main Bama players like Bryce Young and Will Anderson playing is huge for this team. That might be suffering, a little disappointment. I don't know. If they weren't playing, I'd be worried. But as it stands, I mean, what the heck? Bryce has been putting the team on his shoulders all year long. So what's one more game, right? So I see Kansas State hanging in this one and maybe even close to having a lead in the second half. But I think Bama does what they need to do, and they win 31-24. No, Jesse, I didn't make that 1 point difference just because I saw yours. I did have this written down previously. I know it looks weird though.
Again, I can't really win. It's okay.
You just never know.